Let's go live. Let's go live. Come on. Y'all think I can get J-Lo to record that for me? You know, she's got that song, Let's Get Live. That's where I get my Let's Go Live. You think I can get J-Lo to record it for me? J-Lo, I saw a clip this morning on Twitter from J-Lo. Sidebar, you guys can hear me, right? Hey, happy Tuesday. But I saw a clip on Twitter from J-Lo where she talks about she didn't need to do this new music. She's like, you know, no one's really checking for J-Lo music. And I said, ooh. You know? So she's like, she did it because she wanted to do it. I love that. I love that about J-Lo. She understands the music scene is not what it used to be. No one's really like excited for, you know, give me some J-Lo music. Although I do like some J-Lo songs. Don't get me wrong. That J-Lo album was great. It was a time. There are some J-Lo songs that I really do. That J-Lo project, though, that was a solid project. But homegirls are like, ain't nobody been checking for J-Lo music like that. I did it because I wanted to do it. I agree. Look, I say anyone that's pursuing music nowadays are definitely pursuing it for the love. All right? All right. Anyways, I had to start off with that because I was in my mind. It's not on my list of things to talk about for our Tuesday Takeover. But if you're new to Tuesday Takeover, this is where we cover a variety of pop culture news. We also cover reality TV shows and some reality TV news. As always, Tuesday Takeover has a lot to cover. A lot to cover. So let's get into it. But we always start off with some good news first.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the video, and don't forget, you can take us on the go by downloading the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. While you're there, why don't you give us a 5-star rating? It helps and it matters. Thank you in advance for those that have already done that, shared, or keep sharing our platforms with other people. We appreciate it. Shout out to everyone watching around the world on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and here on TikTok. We appreciate you guys being here for our Tuesday Takeover. As always, we always start Tuesday Takeover with some good news. First off, Philly, I'm coming to your city March 7th. We only have 2 more days left to February. So March 7th is right around the corner. Go get your tickets if you haven't already. More information on our Philly show at City Winery will be available in the description of this video. For those that are watching on TikTok, it's available in the link in my bio. For all the dates, because we're coming to Boston on May 30th, then we're going to Nashville on July 11th, then Atlanta on July 12th. All that information is available on our Instagram, but for those that are watching on YouTube or Facebook, all that information is available in the description of the video. All right. So that's my good news. What's your good news? I always want to hear from you guys in the comment section, live chat. Let me know what your good news. You probably didn't even realize you had some good news to share. So be sure to let us know what is your good news. Okay. All right, some other good news. Princess Love and Ray J are getting a divorce. I know you're like, that's not good news, right? It's good news because we know it's not going to happen. These two have filed for divorce so many times before this. This is probably like their third or fourth time filing for divorce. However, the difference, according to TMZ now, is that Princess Love is the one that filed for divorce. Is it because she recently won that money in the poker challenge, the celebrity poker challenge? Princess Love, is that what you're doing? It should be noted that Ray J and Princess Love share 2 children together. As you know, Ray J is Brandy's brother. Oh God, I didn't want to talk about it, but look, we talk about everything that we don't get to talk about anywhere else. I'm not doing a separate video. I'm not doing a TikTok or reel or anything on this. I'm just getting you updated from the Kempire News channel that Ray J and Princess Love have decided to part ways for the umpteenth time. Beyonce says, I thought they were divorced. No, they called it off. And he was literally there when she won that celebrity poker challenge in Vegas. He was there taking her picture. Yes. Oh my God. No one cares. Next story. I mean, we care because, there's kids involved. I don't know why they always are using this divorce against each other. We were talking about that yesterday when we were talking about Married to Medicine, and we were talking about the scene where they're like, who has threatened divorce in your marriage? I don't think you should just be throwing the divorce word around so whimsically in a relationship. And going to social media, because literally Princess Love went to social media to announce this. I'm just like, especially because the amount of times that you both have, filed for divorce, it's sort of like, exactly, Per Luxury Salon says, Love and Hip Hop must be filming. All I know is we're tired. Do us a favor and surprise us by actually going through with it. And look, I'm not one for divorce, but we are at this point tired of the constant news. We're getting a divorce. We're getting a divorce. Get one and surprise us. And then we will be like, whoa, whoa. Sorry. All right. And some other good news. Last week we talked about how One Love, the Bob Marley story, was the #1 movie in the country. Well, I wanted to report to you, at the time that I wrote this down, it's probably more at this point. They said that the One Love movie, the Bob Marley movie, has grossed $81 million worldwide. I don't know what the budget was for this film. However, I'm sure this has surpassed the budget for this film. Congratulations to Bob Marley, all them kids, Rita Marley, and all the Jamaicans. Because look, Bob Marley is an icon, not just in Jamaica, but around the world. So congratulations. I still haven't seen it. I've been busy. I'm going to get to see it, though, because I want to see it. I definitely want to see it. But congratulations to the One Love movie. It came out on Valentine's Day. All right? $81 million worldwide. That's amazing. That's amazing. Beyonce. We love us some Beyonce over here. We love us some Beyonce. Congratulations to Beyonce, because there are a couple of things that we need to say. And I predicted this. I'm not saying that I'm Miss Cleo. Call me now. She wasn't even really Jamaican. Anyways. Beyonce, because she is pursuing country music, rumor reports are saying that Beyonce's Act 2 will be a country album. She released 2 country singles, 16 Carriages and Texas Hold'em. Texas Hold'em is going to be the number one song in the country. It's the first time that a Black woman is getting a number one song with a country song on Billboard 100. Okay, enough of that. Not only that, it should be noted that because Beyonce has reminded the world, because it's still Black History Month, happy Black History Month. Not only that, she reminded the world that Black people are the creators of country music, for those that did not know that. We did a whole special podcast episode last week talking about that. But because Beyonce, because, some people are, let's check in on K. Michelle. Beyonce's doing country music, and she's been trying to do country music for so long. Well, no. And I said this last week. Because Beyonce is putting a spotlight on country music and Black artists in country music, there are several Black artists in country music, and there have been Black artists in country music for the last few years. But because Beyonce is bringing attention to Black artists in country music, all of the Black artists that are currently pursuing country music have seen a huge increase in streams when it comes to their music. All right? So, congratulations to everyone involved, everyone that is reaping the benefits of Beyonce bringing a spotlight to country music. And I love it. I love it. Congratulations on the number one song in the country. And look, are the songs the best? I don't really love Texas Hold'em, but it's catchy. It's catchy. Okay. 16 Carriages, I think a lot of people are really enjoying as well. But like I told you guys before, when Act 1 came out, Renaissance, I didn't love, I didn't hate it either, the first single, but everyone fell in love with every other song on the project. So I'm excited to hear the rest of this project. All right. So congratulations, Beyonce, and congratulations to all the other Black artists that are reaping the benefits of Beyonce bringing to the forefront. Black artists have been doing country music since the beginning. All right. So congratulations to everyone involved. All right. All right. So let's move on to some reality TV conversation. All right. And before we get to, there's nothing more real than the Reesa Tessa of the situation. And I'm still not done. So the next couple of weeks, we will be talking about Reesa Tessa. And you're probably saying, who in the hell is Reesa Tessa? Like I said when I was on Instagram last week, I was like, well, y'all keep bringing up this woman, Reesa Tessa. All right. So Reesa Tessa is a regular woman who went on TikTok, became viral on TikTok because she did a 50-something part series talking about who the F did I marry. So we're going through, look, we're going through all of these 10-minute videos. And I know there are cliff notes. There are people, fantastic content creators that have broken down Reesa Tessa's story. I know that you can even see all of the videos on YouTube. However, I want to support this woman. I want to support this woman and watch her videos because she was first in the creator program. When she first started going viral, she wasn't in the creator program. Then she was in the creator program, but now she's been suspended from the creator program. Oh, there's an update though. There's an update in regards to Legion, the man that she's talking about. So I want to first preface this. Charlamagne, you're dead wrong talking about this woman, big back. Because he's making it seem because she might be a heavyset woman that's the reason why she put up what she put up with. No, it's not. There are plenty of women out here that are with narcissists. Look, I haven't heard the entire 50-something part series yet. I'm on like 30-something at this point. All right. But it's interesting. But she, at the very beginning of this, she says, please understand, I know I made some dumb mistakes. At least she's being transparent because some of y'all, not us, some of y'all are out here making these same damn mistakes and you've never told anyone about it. All right. Reesa Tessa is verified on TikTok. She's got 3.3 million followers, probably more at this point, from telling her story. And she says in some of her videos, because there's sort of like interludes in between, I'm listening to everything. And she says she's hoping that someone will learn from her mistake. And yes, there are a lot of people that look past some red flags every single day. Look past some red flags. However, some of the things that she looked past, I'm like, damn, Reesa. Homegirl even got, okay, listen to this. She was pregnant by this man. She married this man. This man proved to her, I have money. Here's the money in my bank account. They went for homes. He couldn't prove that to the real estate person, proof of funds at one point. So there were like just weird things. So one of the videos that I watched last night, she was talking about after we got married, the sex completely changed too. At one point, he was saying, oh, some guy came here. I forgot what kind of car. So it doesn't matter. And who cares? Some man came here and he was insinuating that maybe it was one of her exes. And she was like, that's weird. Like my ex, I haven't seen or spoken to in 2 years. Why would he randomly come up to my house? There's so much more that comes out. And I know this. No spoilers, y'all. We are all watching this together. Some of you have watched it, spent your Saturday, and you watched all of it. I want to look. I want to take my time with it. As Tina Turner used to say in the song, I want to be easy. All right? All right? So, look, at the very beginning, when she went to go on her first date, when Reesa Tessa went to go on her first date with this man, her wheel blew out. Her tire blew out. So it's like the universe was trying to stop her from making this big mistake. She met this man during the pandemic. A lot of y'all were lonely during the pandemic. Okay? So a lot of you got in relationships. A lot of you quarantined. A lot of you, spent the lockdown with certain people that you're not with anymore. I would like to see the statistics in regards to how many people got together, got married during the pandemic versus how many people are getting divorces now. Ooh, look, ooh. You know what I mean? Duran says, yes, Kempire, take your time. You know what? We're talking about the Reesa Tessa TikTok viral story that's going on right now. All right? Well, we have an update. I'm going to continue to talk about this because, bravo, you missed the damn bullet. We could have had Reesa Tessa on your damn show. Another woman from Atlanta. You know, we talked about that other lady from Atlanta who she caught her husband out there. The airport revealed that he was cheating. Remember that? Y'all missed the bullet. Why didn't y'all get them? Why? Anyways, we could talk about that, but we'll leave that alone for now. Bravo. So we have an update in regards to this Reesa Tessa story because her ex-husband, Legion, is suing. Okay, I don't know if he's filed the lawsuit yet. Look, I hope TMZ don't put any spoilers in this article because I haven't gotten to the end yet. If they did, it's all right. It's all right. I still need to hear from her. And I'm encouraging people to listen to her videos, even though I don't think she's getting any money from it right now because she was in the Creator Fund and then they kicked her out of the Creator Fund. Okay. I don't know why they would kick her out. Maybe she's back in it at this point. So TMZ writes this. Reesa Tessa, her ex, is telling his side of a viral TikTok saga that's taking the internet by storm. And while he's been painted one way, he's got a different story, which might end in court. So Jerome, not Jerome. I'm sorry. Shout out to all the Jeromes. But if you grew up of a particular age at a particular time, not Jerome in the house. I said Jerome in the house. Shut your mouth. Sorry. All right, so Jerome McCoy, who goes by Legion on Reese's now infamous Who the F Did I Marry video series, which is at least 50 parts deep at this point, tells TMZ everything Reesa, whose real name is Teresa Johnson, declared about him in her lengthy video series is false. First of all, Reesa Tessa, either you have an impeccable memory because the way that she's able to tell these stories, she even said that she kept a video journal during this time. So she says, so the TMZ continues. It says, while Reesa made many allegations against Legion, including claims that he fibbed about his career. Really, TMZ? Fibbed about his career, family, and wealth. He's hitting back with accusations of his own. Legion claims he and Reesa were having trust issues at one point and goes on to claim she attempted to reconcile with him while allegedly threatening to expose him if he did not comply. Uh-oh. And he suggests him not budging is why this is all coming out. So are you denying any of what she's saying in this video, Legion? Okay. It goes without saying Reese's ex is feeling the backlash of the TikToks going viral and claims it's hurting his job in PR. wait. So he didn't. Okay, I'm in the middle of the series because I'm under the impression that Legion has a different job. Okay, we'll wait. Which he says he does for a hospital. Amid all of this attention, Legion tells us he met with attorneys Monday at work to discuss taking legal action against Reesa. On its face, it seems his company believes they might have been damaged by her storytelling. Legion says he's supportive of any moves they might make. So it looks like his job might be willing to sue on his behalf, but sue for themselves. Unclear if he's considering private counsel for himself at this point, but he's certainly mulling his options right now. Bottom line, Legion tells us the way that he's been portrayed by Reesa is not who he is at all. He feels he's been wronged by the tales she's told. There's no denying that Reese's videos have been a huge hit online, with one video garnering over 11 million views on TikTok. Reese's account also boasts nearly 32 million likes. Woo! Actress Danielle Pinnock from the TV show Ghost has already pitched herself to play Reesa. If the viral saga ever gets a small screen adaptation, and something tells us this thing might just get made into a TV movie show down the line. Indeed, it's that wild. Knowing Hollywood, someone is probably already working on the screenplay. Please don't put it on Tubi. No offense to Tubi, because I know a lot of you love the Tubi movies, but I feel like this deserves even more. This is so viral. We haven't seen a viral story like this in forever. So I believe that this deserves a Netflix documentary. Shout out to the Wendy Williams producers of the documentary. We just posted a separate story talking about Wendy Williams. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a second. But they did a good job with that documentary in regards to how that was pieced together. Maybe we can do the Reesa Tessa story. I just feel like it deserves quality. Just saying. Quality. Elvis Show says, Tyler Perry better not touch it. All right, that's a perfect segue for me to move on. I will get more back into Reesa Tessa next week because I want to finish the series. The end says, at least Netflix. Well, that's another perfect segue for us to talk about Mea Culpa. So Mea Culpa is doing extremely well on Netflix. But I've seen so many mixed reviews about this movie. And you know how much I love Kelly Rowland. She is my girl crush, okay? If I was ever to be with a woman, it would be Kelly Rowland. Not that she would want me. I'm just saying. All right? Look at these sexy two on a bike. Okay? I've heard mixed things about this damn movie. And part of me wants to watch it so I can have my own opinion. But at the same time, Tyler Perry's history and writing makes me not want to. Especially with some of you saying that some of what plays out in this movie doesn't make sense. So part of me wants to watch it for, journalistic integrity. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to sit and waste any hours of my life on Tyler Perry. And look, Tyler Perry has done some amazing things, giving amazing opportunities to Black actors. I just wish he would extend those opportunities to Black writers and not always take the writing for himself because it's not that great. It's not that great. However, I do love The Family That Prays. I don't know if he exclusively wrote the entire script for that, but that was a good one. That was a good movie. But look, doesn't mean that he's a bad writer. It just means that he shouldn't have to write every single thing. All right. I should do a poll. Should Kempire watch Mea Culpa? And y'all better be honest for those that have watched it. I'm going to do a poll on YouTube. Should Kempire, and I'm not giving you a maybe. And for replay crew, let me know in the comment section, and then I will decide from there. And someone said wig makers too. Yes. He needs to hire better wig makers as well. Should Kempire watch Mea Culpa? Here's the thing. Like I want to support Kelly Rowland. I really like Kelly, especially with all the drama that was surrounding Kelly Rowland and the Today Show. She was recently asked about it and exactly what I felt Hoda should have done on the Today Show instead of like making jest about it and confirming that there was some sort of dressing room issue. Kelly was just like, I love Hoda. I love the Today Show. I'm not talking about it. And I was like, that's how you're supposed to handle it. However, I also believe, like I said, I want to support Kelly in this role because I feel like this role is preparing her for the Donner Summer movie that's coming. Or series. I'm not sure. They haven't solidified that. And the family has said that they want Kelly to play her. Here's the thing. I know some people are like, oh, she shouldn't just get the role because she looks like Donna Summers. Well, no. There are several reasons. She can act. I heard she was good in the movie. And she's done other acting before. She looks like her. She's also a singer. She's also someone that really helped launch that whole EDM era of music. So for me, there is a connection. All right, I'm posting in the live chat. Live chat, let me know if I should watch Mia Culpa on Netflix. If y'all make me watch that movie and that movie's terrible, I want your honest opinion. Oh Lord, y'all voting. All right. So I wanted to bring up Mia Culpa. I've heard good things. It was like the #1 trending movie. Just because it's #1 trending doesn't mean that it's good. It just means that a lot of people were giving it a shot. And it's a black movie by a black creator, so I want to support. And a lot of you said, please let me know as well, for those that have watched it on BET Plus, All the King's Men with Eva, which was honed and created by Christian Keys, who has those accusations, who he still has not revealed who these accusations are against. A lot of people think that's Tyler Perry's show that he's written and produced. No, that is Christian Keys. Tyler Perry was just distributing, giving it the opportunity to be on BET. So that is at least one time that, Tyler has allowed a black creator to write for him. You know what I mean? Mrs. Kiki says, let's do a watch party, Kempire. You know what? So we can be mad together. But I heard that it's almost like erotic, so I don't want to do that on. Yeah, y'all trying to get me kicked off of TikTok. Okay? We can't watch that together. Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, we already have 1,300 people here for our Tuesday takeover. If you're new here, this is where we cover a variety of reality TV news, but also pop culture news, all right? So this is a little bit of what you get when you come to a Kempire After Dark live show, but definitely we talk a little bit more explicitly. No, not a little bit, a lot more explicitly. We're coming to Philly on March 7th, so get your tickets now. That's right around the corner. That's next week? Damn. So I'll see you Philly very, very, very soon, okay? So go get your tickets if you haven't already for our Philly show. We'll be coming to Boston, Nashville, Atlanta, and more cities will be announced, so stay tuned. All right? Someone says that Mia Culpa is a mix of temptation and addiction. Oh, Amina. All right. In regards to the Reesa Tessa story that we just covered, yes, it's a whole TikTok series that she has on her TikTok. Okay, so be sure to check that out. We are going to continue to cover it as I continue to watch the videos. Okay, all right. Duran says, "Come to Texas." We are working on Texas as well. We just haven't announced dates yet, so stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. All right. Since we talked about that, let's talk about. I don't have a lot to say about 90 Day Fiancé. I'm just glad that next week that we are finally going to be at the tell-all, because I am so over 90 Day Fiancé this season. I don't care. We already saw Gino and Jasmine get married last week. This week, we got to see Clayton and Anali get married. Of course, they made it seem as if Anali was not going to show up, but of course, she did eventually show up. She also told her father about her relationship, and he did not take it well. But here we are. Look, so I'm just giving you a brief overview. I don't care. Rob and Sophie finally got married. I mean, finally, the makeup and the hair kind of looked better during her wedding. The mother was definitely shady. During the wedding, asking the friend on whether or not she thinks that they should get married. Okay. I completely forgot that Devin and Nikki were even part of the season. If they weren't in my notes here, I probably would forget, but I also saw that they were at the tell-all. Okay. So they've been gone so long at this point. Gone for so long. We already saw Jasmine and Gino get married last week. Ashley and her man, oh my goodness. So here's the thing. I don't care. They got married in the rain. She was in Florida. There was a tropical storm. So she was very paranoid. So she's in the car. She's hearing thunder. She's seeing the clouds. They're driving towards the actual storm. And she's like, her crying. Very first time we were introduced to her, Ashley the witch. She's actually a witch. We were first introduced to her. She had that crying fit in the car going to pick him up. And then on her way to her wedding, it's the same crying fit. It shouldn't be comical when someone's crying, but it was quite comical watching her cry. And the entire family is sitting there in the rain on the beach as she's getting married. But I thought it was sweet regardless. I would have been frustrated as hell, though. I would have been frustrated as hell in regards to getting married in the rain. But some people might like it. They seemed really happy. I have to say, all the weddings seemed like everyone was happy. And I feel like some of the conflicts that we got towards the end was more about making a moment for reality television than actual real conflict. Maybe. So congratulations to Ashley. Congratulations to Sam and Citra because they finally had sex because now they're married. Sam asked Citra if she's going to stay with him if he goes to jail. What if he goes to jail for 2 years? Because he had a violation. And she's like, "You're my husband now. I'm staying with you." Okay. Nikki and Justin, I'm going to tell you this. I actually feel bad for Nikki this week. I've said countless times I felt like this relationship was just for television. I still kind of believe that, but I really felt bad for her when she read the text message that Justin sent to her. And basically she says, we have fights all the time where we don't talk for a few weeks. Okay. Well, this last fight, she brought up the fact that she feels like he's just using her because she's been supporting him financially for a long time. And they hadn't talked for a few weeks, and he sends her this text message that was pretty damning. Pretty damning. And I didn't like it because now we understood at the end of the season why she felt so insecure about being trans, about him not sleeping with her, because he brings it up in the text message. I gave up all this and humiliation to my friends and family and the public. And I was like, wow. Wow. So part of me is sort of like, he filmed the show. He knows that he's going to be on the show. And now he's like, I don't need you anymore. Now he probably thinks that he's famous. And she is still pursuing the K-1 visa. She hasn't withdrew the K-1 visa at the time of the filming of this. But she was so upset. This was like one of the first times that we saw the producers hugging one of the stars of the reality show, breaking that fourth wall. And I was just like, oh, I felt for her. I really did feel for Nikki, and explained why she felt so insecure, because who knows what else is being said or the microaggressions that he's been making over the years. So I actually did feel for Nikki this week. I really did feel for Nikki this week. But we had a bunch of marriages outside of that this week on 90 Day Fiancé. But next week will be the tell-all for 90 Day Fiancé. Of course, in the preview, they show Jasmine losing her mind. I will say this, Jasmine looks good. Whatever work Jasmine has gotten done, that's some good work. She looks good. But the constant screaming and crying and storming off, we are over it. Do not bring them back. Do not bring them back. I say all that to say, I know a lot of you are asking if I've seen the Michael from Nigeria. Them confirming Michael has been here for at least 2 months. Well, apparently on social media, Angela was crying, saying that Michael is missing. He's only been here for 2 months. Michael is missing. So a lot of people said, Michael ain't missing. Well, Michael has been found. All right. Michael has been found. Do I have the story here? Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can find the story, because I know I had the story somewhere. Oh, Lord. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on. I have it. I just want to bring it up so we can read it together. Let me see. In touch. All right. Michael has been found. Because last night when I originally was going to report on this story, Michael from 90 Day Fiancé, let me pull up the picture so you guys know who I'm even talking about. Even though if you are a 90 Day Fiancé fan, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Michael from Nigeria. So apparently Michael did make it here. And we speculated, we had heard rumors that he did make it here. Not sure if he's filming for anything, but I'm assuming that he is. It took Michael years to get here. Years. All right. And so Simon Guobadia is still running amok. He's been running amok in a scam, allegedly, for years. All right. I say all that to say, so I want to keep saying Michael Darby, but no. 90 Day Fiancé's Michael has been found safe. So Michael, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but I apologize. Yasami was found safe after going missing in America. 90 Day Fiancé blogger John Yates confirmed the news alongside Michael's wife, Angela Deem, on Monday. So Michael is safe. There's the good news, John said on a YouTube video, while Angela added, "Thank God," in the background. The blogger revealed that Angela, 58, received a phone call from police after she went live on TikTok to reveal that her husband was missing earlier that day. The police were contacted by Michael. They verified it with him. John continued, he did have a burner phone or another phone that nobody knew about, and on that phone, he had pictures of his passport that he left. They verified his ID. It's him. You know what, Michael? Oh, Michael. So are you back home with Angela? Police also told Angela that Michael was, quote, in fear of his life and didn't want her to know his location. What? Wait. Okay. Police told Angela that Michael was in fear of his life and didn't want her to know his location. In the 2 months since Michael arrived in America, Angela and Michael went to California for over a week. They went to New York. They went to Florida. John continued, it's not Monte Carlo, but over the course of 7 weeks, I'd say no one was being locked up here. Okay. After learning that Michael was seemingly hiding from her, Angela said, I'm effing mad as hell now. Tell the truth. I'm worried thinking he was hurt. But a lot of people were speculating when they found out that Michael was missing. They were like, he ain't missing. He ain't missing. Angela previously revealed that Michael went missing on February 23rd and confirmed that the police were involved in finding him. The TLC star said that she was concerned because her husband left without an ID, wallet, or extra clothing. The news came just 2 months after Michael arrived in America from Nigeria in December of 2023. Although Angela and Michael tied the knot in Nigeria in 2020, they spent years apart as they waited for Michael's visa to be approved. They first applied for the visa in March of 2020, but faced delays amid the COVID pandemic. During a December 2022 episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Angela found out that Michael was cheating on her while he was in Nigeria and she was home in Georgia. After a brief split at the beginning of 2023, Angela and Michael reconciled and decided to give their relationship another chance on season 90 Day, The Last Resort, which we watched, and Michael was in the iPad, before he finally moved to America. When Michael went missing, Angela admitted to fears that he had left her because he was finally settled in America and didn't need her anymore. If he left on his own, he should have called me, she insisted. Everybody in this town, I'm going to tell you, they say, Angela, he's effing walked out because he's got no reason to stay here. I don't want to believe that. I don't think it's that simple, though. Right? It's not that simple. He can't just come here and leave the person that sponsored him to come here. So I don't know if he realizes that, but you should, Michael. You should. So he's saying that he doesn't want Angela to know where he is. Look, we've seen some footage of Angela fighting her own friends, which makes me question what she may have been doing to Michael. I wouldn't be surprised why he would say that he's in fear for his life, right? Come on, we've seen her. We've seen her on 90 Day Fiancé. We've also seen her offline on social media attacking physically her friends. So I can only imagine the way she was treating Michael, especially because now Michael has to live off of her, even though he's been living in Nigeria off of her, according to, episodes of 90 Day Fiancé. So, look, I'm Team Michael on this one. Hashtag free Michael. Hashtag surviving Angela Dean. I don't know. But I wonder, immigration attorneys, those that are experts in immigration, can Michael stay in the States if he accuses Angela of abuse and he doesn't want to live with her, but maybe he's living with a cousin that lives here in the States? Is that the way to stay in? Ooh, no, now you guys got me thinking. Of course, I had to talk about this. The fact that Michael from 90 Day Fiancé is actually here. We spent years of watching Michael be on FaceTime in the Zoom and then in a tablet for only for him to actually make it to the States, be with Angela for like 2 months, and then he's like, I'm out of here. I'm getting out of here. But I'm wondering if he could get away with staying in the United States with a loophole saying that my wife has been abusive to me, allegedly. I don't know if that's what he's doing, but I'm speculating. I'm speculating. Ooh, NYC MP says, yes, he can. Now you guys saying hashtag free Michael. All right. Lord, 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 Lord. All right. Look, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a 90-Day Fiancé situation end up like this. Or do you think that it's a plot that Todd set up for them to come back to 90-Day Fiancé for a new storyline? You know the 90-Day Fiancé producers are like, yes, I am ready to film this. Or have they already filmed something? We're going to continue to follow this story, unfortunately. I was tired of Angela too. But now that Michael's back and is actually here in the States, I'm a little invested. A little bit. Look. Oh, okay. All right, let me take a sip because this is my lunch. All right, my cassava shake. All right, 90 Days of Single Life. Oh, God. I don't really have a lot to say about this. We didn't see Chantel this week. What we did see was Tyree go on a date. What do you guys think of Tyree's date on 90 Days of Single Life? I actually thought maybe we have a match. She seemed like she was into him. She seemed a little messy, but she seemed like she's into him. She's educated. I was like, okay. Look, the only reason why I'm watching 90 Day The Single Life is probably for Tyree. And a fight between Jamal and Timothy. Ow. But we didn't even get them this week. We did get Natalie. Natalie is talking about now that she wants to pursue having a child. She, it's something that she's always wanted to do. So she meets with doctors about freezing her eggs. And I told you guys, I don't believe that. Freezing your eggs is expensive. She left everything in Florida to move to California. She barely was able to afford an apartment. She wasn't even able to afford an apartment. So I don't know what she's doing. But next week, we see that on 90 Day The Single Life, she's going to meet up with Michael. And Natalie's mother loves Michael. She's like, you should have a baby with Michael. Do you think that Michael and Natalie are going to get back together? I mean, the fact that he's even filming with her for 90 Day The Single Life, I don't know. Natalie is a lot. That's a personality I just don't see her and Michael. I mean, the fact that they're still friendly, that's great. And they're still married, technically. Not technically, literally. They are still married. They're still married. But okay. Look, all right. I don't get, look, and every single week I say I do not care. I don't care about John's story. I still don't. I'm sorry, John. I don't care about your story, about you and this other woman and you possibly moving to be with her. Who cares? Oh my gosh. But I care about Tyree's story. Tyree got a date. Tyree had a date this week. Go for him. Go for him. I missed Veronica this week because I wanted to see more of the between Jamal and Tim. All right. Anyways, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. But if you're listening to this on the Kempire podcast, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. All right, let's move on because, there's other things that I want to talk about. How are you guys feeling about Below Deck this season? So I'm watching Below Deck last night, and I'm just like, I am so not into it. And I love my guy Frasier. I like Frasier. I think Frasier is a great chief stew. I love his commentary as well. But I'm not loving this cast. I don't like Ben. I think Ben is a D. I do like Barbie though. Barbara Pasquale, she was on Watch What Happens Live last night. I do like her. And she's a Virgo, so it explains why her and Frasier are bumping heads because she's a boss. She believes her way is the best way. All right. So, yeah, I'm just not feeling this cast. I did last week like that Kat shared how she grew up in a cult, a religious cult. And I felt for her this week. She got very emotional, feeling like she doesn't fit within this cast, in this group. Captain Carey, I don't care about. I still miss Captain Lee. And I'm not expecting Captain Carey to be Captain Lee, but I'm expecting him to have some sort of personality that's interesting to watch. I'm not interested. So I'm not really loving Below Deck this season. The better, and look, I always say this when I recap Below Deck. The best part for me for watching Below Deck is watching them work. I don't care about them going out and drinking and hooking up. Okay, a little bit of that, but I much rather see them have like sexual tension during work. Not when they go out and get drunk and have a good time. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. And Ben, I think Ben is good for the show, but at the same time, he's such a, I can't. I'm like, Norma says it's so-so. I'm going to hold out because I really do enjoy the show Below Deck. But at the same time, Gene says, I like Captain Carey. He doesn't operate off of emotions. You think Captain Lee does? I don't think Captain Lee does. Norma says, I do not like Ben at all. I don't know if he's good for the show or because we don't really have a lot of people with dynamic personalities because he's such a D that it's sort of like, it's better to have him than not to have him. Mama Ali, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, congrats, Kempire, on 349 subscribers. Thank you. We're so proud of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, finally, the tell-all Nikki was over the top. Yes. Thank you, Julie, for the super chat. Amina, thank you so much for the super chat. Amina, yes. Did you hear about Michael and Angela? There we go. Angela, he is missing. No, he's now found and safe. Michael from 90 Day Fiancé is now found, but he does not want to be around Angela. He does not want to be around Angela. Can you blame him? Anyways, moving on. Where do I want to go with? Oh, Below Deck. Anything else that I want to say about Below Deck this week? Not really. I see that Frasier and Barbie are having sort of like this. Frasier, here's the thing with you. I don't understand why you're ready to just get rid of her. Like, I get it. She's a little, combative with you, but your first thing is to get rid of her? I'm like, that's a bit much. So they get a little heated when they're out partying together and they have their own conversation, and it gets a little heated between them again. I tell you, that's a Virgo for you. Shout out to all the Virgos. Okay. Anyway, so that's Below Deck. We're on season 11, right? Season 11 of Below Deck. I don't know. I'm just not feeling this season like that. I mean, it's still early. We're only on 4 episodes in. I don't know. This week, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I gave them grace the last couple of episodes, but on the 4th episode, I'm just like, what's happening? What do I care about? Maybe if the guests were a little bit more interesting. I thought it was beautiful that they were having these vow renewals and a wedding, and Captain Carey was the whatever you call it that does it. So yeah. Anyways, I say all that to say we will move on because I want to talk about things that I want to talk about, like Love is Blind season 6. Can we talk about Kenny? Kenny with the braids. What happened between Kenny and his wife-to-be? Because I can't tell you the amount of times that Kenny kept on picking up his phone while she's talking. I wanted to throw my phone at him. Like, why are you always on your phone? I get it. You just got your phones back. You have some work stuff to do, but he was always on his phone. And then he seemed like he was done with her. Like, I could tell like he was done with her. And the minute that she gave him some sort of inkling of a problem, he used that, in my opinion, he used that to be like, oh, so we're done. And he really tried to put it on her. I felt like he gaslighted her. And he says this was the first white woman that he ever dated. I'm wondering if he just wasn't into her like that. And he didn't know how to say it. Because they did talk about the dynamics of an interracial relationship, what that means for the world, or what that means in regards to children. But I was sort of like, is there something that we're missing that we haven't seen between the two of them? Is she annoying? And is that why you seem like not into her? Like, he didn't even want to engage with her. He was literally like on his phone. She's talking to him. He's on his phone. And I'm like, sir, So he annoyed because to me it was sort of like this switch. But I don't know. It annoyed the hell out of me watching it, especially because he used that inkling where she says, "You're not very affectionate." Like all of a sudden he stopped being affectionate. Amina says that Kenny never wanted her. He prefers black women. He should have been transparent. Exactly. And you don't go on a show like Love is Blind if you're not open to being Love is Blind. We talked about that when it comes to attraction, when it comes to, physical attraction before. That's a part of physical attraction. If you had said, I want a black woman, I'm not saying you can't be on Love is Blind, but you don't go on a show Love is Blind because they're not going to tell you sometimes their race, if that's important to you. But he said that he was open. But we also have to keep in mind, a lot of these folks that go on dating shows like this, there's a little bit of a tick. There's a reason why they can't find love in the real world and they have to go on a reality show. And I'm not judging. Do what you got to do. Because sometimes you do find love on a reality show. Not very often, but usually there's a reason why these folks cannot find love. Okay? Because if this is the way that Kenny deals with situations and he's not able to communicate that I'm just not feeling this, he gaslit her to make it seem like she was the one having the issue and then flipped it on her. It's like, well, you know what? Because he did it a couple times. When she was saying that he's not affectionate, he was like, oh, I thought I was being clingy. I thought I was being overly clingy. He gaslit her multiple times. So I'm looking at Kenny with the side eye. Let's talk about some of these other couples on Love is Blind, season 6. All right. What is it? Was AD and Clay? AD and Clay. Oh my goodness. At first, I wasn't feeling Clay because I told you during this, when they first met, I was like, I don't know about him. He expressed some concerns about he doesn't want to fail her in this relationship. So she gets to like, what do you mean? Like, where did that come from? That lunch scene that they had where he was eating the food and then he piled all his dishes up. I was like, what is going on? He's a little strange. But everyone has a little bit of a tick. You all have your little single, what is it they call it on Sex and the City? Single something behavior. I can't remember what the other word was. You will remind me in the live chat. So I found him to be a little strange. And then when he was like, oh, I did that with the ring. Mind you, the show gets the ring. He's like, I did that with the ring. Sir, you didn't buy this ring. So there's some little things about him that I find a little weird. However, I understood his concerns because didn't he talk about his Bayesian father that was a ladies' man and cheated on his mother and took him sometimes on trips where he was cheating on his mother? So I think he's got a little bit of a something like, I don't want to turn out like my dad and do what my dad did to my mom to you. So I understood a little bit. But then there's other behaviors from him that makes me think, are you like your dad? You know what I mean? Because he kind of gives me greasy, shady a little bit. Sidebar, last week we didn't talk about episode 6 that was revealed when the ladies were talking about AD's butt. That was such an interesting situation that made me kind of look at everyone. Specifically, what's that her name? Laura, with the side eye and the whole bean situation and her guy bringing it up. There was a lot that happened in episode 6 that made me kind of look at the other couples like, what? Strangely. For those that are just joining us, we are talking about Guyanese. Sorry, not Bayesian. Caribbean. Look, we were just talking about Caribbean. If you missed Married to Medicine recap last night, we had a whole Reesa Tessa situation that's not Reesa Tessa last night. All right. Deborah says that Clay is very performative. Sorry, I forgot. He said Guyanese. His Guyanese father. Okay. Starry Night says, yeah, it was cringy. Lord. Let me say thank you. D. Pegram, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Kempire. I'm a bit behind. Michael and Angela applied for the spousal visa. If they were married for 2 years, when he had his interview at the embassy, he would have gotten his permanent 10-year green card. Oh, so we don't know. We don't know if he's actually gotten it yet. Maybe he does. But why did he leave his passport and everything behind? It's like he was just trying to get out of there. Courtney says that they were hating on 80s shape because they would pay for it if they could. That was such an awkward moment where they were talking about her shape, and then what's his name? Do I have all their names here? Let me see. Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy. He felt awkward, and so he was trying to have a conversation with AD about it to kind of like smooth things over, which turned out to having Chelsea feel insecure. You know, Chelsea's the one that thinks that she looks, well, she says that people say that she looks like Megan Fox, only for the other lady, was it Jessica? Yes, Jessica, she actually looks like Megan Fox. All right? She actually looks like Megan Fox. So now they're out in the free world. They have their phones and they're on social media. Apparently, Jimmy sent a friend request to Jessica and then took it back, but she noticed it. Oh, my goodness. So Jimmy and Chelsea are having their own issues right now because she's coming across very clingy. She was like, you didn't kiss me today. And he's like, I hurt my mouth, you know, and I did kiss you today. So that leads to an argument between the two of them. But then she's also concerned that now he's seen Jessica and he's having regrets. My thing is, if you're going to do Love is Blind, then he's dated other women that look like Jessica, that look like the Kardashians. And I'm thinking, well, if you're doing Love is Blind, you're trying to do something that you haven't done before. Only sometimes after you've done it, you're like, you know, I'm trying to not to do what I've done before, only for you to fall back. All right. So if someone says that Jessica doesn't look like Megan, look, Megan doesn't look like Megan Fox. Go look at the original photos of Megan Fox. Let's be honest. However, Jessica looks more like Megan Fox than Chelsea does. Okay. But I get it. Chelsea was saying other people say it. She tried to downplay it in the pause and says, it's because I have dark hair and light eyes. That's the reason. Okay. But everyone has been ripping Chelsea for saying, oh, she looks like Megan Fox. But like I said last week, Megan Fox doesn't look like the Megan Fox that we know today. All right. All right. Boxy says she does not look like Megan Fox. Shay says Chelsea is infuriating, insufferable, I think maybe you meant all the time. She definitely is clingy, and Jimmy calls her out for being clingy. He calls her out for being clingy. But I think part of that comes from her being insecure, especially when it comes to him finally seeing Jessica and seeing that Jessica is beautiful. But he fell in love with Chelsea's personality. All right. Who else did we have here? Okay. Oh, Lord. This couple. What are their names again? Do I have their names here? You guys will remind me in the chat. Their names. Johnny and something else. I forgot her name. But their big issue on Love is Blind is about her getting on birth control. And then she is talking about him getting a vasectomy. Like, I can see both sides. Here I go twerking on the fence. I can see both sides. First of all, you can't make her go on birth control because that will have some sort of hormonal change to her body. And we don't know how that's going to make her body feel. But then at the same time, we can't ask this man, Amber and Johnny. Danielle. Danielle said boring and boring. That's their names, Danielle. Y'all are terrible in this chat. Boring and boring. They're a cute couple. They don't have a lot of the same issues that these other couples have, but that's a big issue because they don't want to wait till they get married to have sex. However, it's Johnny and Amy. Thank you. Johnny and Amy. Thank you. But here's the thing. Vasectomies are reversible, but I don't know 100% if it's reversible. So I'm not going to tell Johnny to go get a whole vasectomy in order for them to have sex. So that's a big issue in their relationship. That is a big issue in their relationship. And honestly, I can understand. I can understand that being a big issue. I'm not going to tell her to go get on birth control, and I'm not going to tell him to get a vasectomy so that they can have intimacy. And they don't want to wait till they get married, and he doesn't want to have, an accidental pregnancy. Exactly. Bunny says, it reminds us that condoms are not the safest. You can still have a situation. All right. Courtney says vasectomy reversal is not that hard, but still, it's a procedure. It's a procedure. And I'm not going to tell him, look, your body, your choice. That goes for everyone, male or female. I'm not going to tell him to do that. And I don't know. Look, Miranda says vasectomies are quick, easy, safe, and reversible. I don't think it's 100% reversible, though. Just saying, that's still a procedure. I'm not going to tell someone to go get a vasectomy for this. Just saying, in my opinion. All right? Tess says, I'm sorry. I'm reminded of the scene in The Office with Michael Scott being like, snip, snap, snip, snap. Y'all are a mess today. NYCMP, thank you so much for the super chat. NYCMP says, scary single behavior. Scary single behavior in regards to Sex and the City. You visa for immigrant DV victim. I'm not sure what you meant. I get what you're trying to address in regards to the Michael and Angela situation, but I'm not sure what the response is. Mama Allie, thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Allie says, Chelsea put out on an Instagram story asking for people to come forward and say she does look like Megan Fox. I saw it in the past week. I mean, she doesn't look like Megan Fox. It is what it is, all right? Mickey says he should get a vasectomy. If he wants to. However, if she doesn't want to get on the pill and he doesn't want to get a vasectomy, that's a big deal because then they can't have sex with each other. It is what it is. And a condom is not 100% going to stop, all right? All right. I say all that to say... Oh, and exactly. I mean, it's a small chance. This is a small chance. Marlo reminds us that vasectomies can also fail. So that's not 100% either. Okay. All right. It's called a U visa. Okay. Someone says, I think Chelsea. Y'all are terrible. Nikki says, I think Chelsea does favor Megan Fox. All right. Rosanna says, Chelsea looks like Natalie Nunn. Y'all are going to hell. I just want to point this out to you. Y'all are going to hell. A mess. Guys, we have over 1,200 people watching on multiple platforms. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. And if you're listening to this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Kempire, the podcast available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Thank you so much, Claudia. Yes, Sex and the City equals secret single behavior. Carrie Bradshaw. Yeah, I couldn't remember the term. We all have that. But some of these people have worse than that. Look, worse than that. All right. Creme Brulee says, Chelsea and the girls are jealous of AD and her body. I'm sure. I'm adding the body part because we were talking about that in episode 6. All right. So what else did I want to talk about? Oh, do I have their picture here? No, wait, hold on, y'all. Do I have their picture here? I don't know if I have their picture. I wanted to talk about that other couple. Oh, damn it. I don't think I have their picture, but y'all know, what's her name? Laura and her guy. Oh, wait. Here we go. Jeremy and Laura. Jeremy, first of all, without a hat, you do not look that great. I'm sorry. I actually here's the thing. I didn't like Laura in the pods. I didn't like how she was telling Jessica, get out of here. He's not going to choose you after she found out that Chelsea was told by Jimmy that he loved her. I didn't like her. She has a big personality. But I kind of like it for reality television. So Jeremy and Laura, they get into it in this last episode of Love is Blind because Homeboy was out to 5 o'clock in the morning. Look, in the morning. He was out till 5 o'clock in the morning with the other woman that he had a connection with in the pods. All right? All right? Rosanna says Laura's a mean girl on the low. I don't know if it's a mean girl on the low. I get mean girl vibes from her. However, I don't blame her for being upset. First of all, I thought she was doing a little too much before we found out he was with the other girl till 5 o'clock in the morning. Because the other girl says, if you change your mind, feel free to reach out to me about your connection. Like if you have, issues with your connection. She sent that to him on Instagram and he just liked it. He didn't respond to it. He just liked it. And Laura felt like, no, you shouldn't have responded at all. And she had a point later when she said, you met up with this woman that you had a connection with in the pods and you were talking to her till 5 o'clock in the morning. And now you're lying about where you were because she had shared his location. And he's like, you were near her home. The clubs over there closed at 2 o'clock. So you were sitting talking to this woman that's not your girlfriend, not your fiance, till 5 o'clock in the morning. Are we to believe that nothing happened? Are we to believe? Do you think something happened between Jeremy and this other woman? Exactly. Crystal says, I really didn't like Laura, but then Jeremy had to be a scumbag. Yeah, I get why people don't like Laura. However, Jeremy is not much better. And like I said, talking to this other woman, it'd be different if you were in a public place and you were talking to this other woman. You were in your car talking to this other woman till 5 o'clock in the morning. Hold on. Shivy says, I saw the clip of Laura calling out and Jeremy on the Clock app, though. There's so much stuff that happens outside of Love is Blind on social media. I can't keep up with all that because I'm trying to keep up with the episodes and keep up with everything else that's going on. And anything that I'm trying to keep up with on TikTok is the Reesa Tessa story. We talked about that already earlier today. Okay. So, okay. Ashley says, again, love is not blind with these people. They run straight to the person they didn't choose once they see each other. Yeah, because some of these people are not on there understanding the true premise of love is blind. You are doing this because you've done physical attraction before. Now you're trying to focus on mental attraction. But I guess it also lets you know what's a priority for you. Some people learn from this process, well, I guess physical attraction is a priority for me. Maybe. I know it is for me. I'm not doing no love is blind. I need to see what you look like. I need to see your teeth. Look, I need to smell your breath to make sure that it's clean. You know what I mean? But I can see how Love is Blind you can build a connection with someone through a wall. But I also think if you're going on a reality show, I'm also questioning your intentions. Anyone else? Kalani says, were they in the back seat talking? I don't know. No, I don't know. Okay. Semhar says, no, he was in the car. His phone was in the car where the GPS tracked him. But he was with Sarah and on the north end of Uptown, whatever she said, where his Apple Watch really tracked him. So Semhar says, no, he was in the car. His phone was in the car where the GPS tracked him. But he was with Sarah and on the north end of Uptown, where whatever she said, where his Apple Watch really tracked him. Regardless, it was shady behavior. And I wouldn't blame Laura if she decides not to move forward with him, because I don't know if I could trust you. Just saying. Because you didn't tell her, please do not reach out to me. I've made my choice. I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to respond to someone, even if you're liking it, because that sends mixed signals. That doesn't say definitively, I'm not interested. I'm very happy with my choice. Please do not reach out to me again. That's the way you probably should respond to it. Or not respond at all. And my thing is too, if you are the woman, if you're Sarah and you're reaching out to someone like that and saying that, and he responds, do you really want to be with him? Because would he do that to you? I always look at behavior like that. If you're going to do that with me, how do I know that you're not going to do that on me? You know what I mean? Like, you know what they say, you lose them how you got them. Just saying. Exactly. Dante says, lying this early is a blessing. Goodbye. Courtney says, I can't imagine tracking the grown man down. No, all I would need was this piece of information, and I would be done. Laura, I don't think Laura's going to say yes. I don't know if Laura's going to even move forward. New episodes of Love Is Blind Season 6 will be available tomorrow. They're not paying me, but they should, the way I'm advertising these shows. Just saying. Oh, Nakima says, Jeremy had just broken up with his fiance oh yes, I forgot about this element because this is another part of the story that came out off of the show. So Nakima reminds us this story came out in the media that Jeremy had just broken up with his fiance 4 months before being on Love Is Blind. He didn't want another one. So he was literally on the rebound. I mean, when you look like this, if you look like this and you hiding how you look under a hat, that's why it's important. If you are going on a dating app, take off those sunglasses, I know we were in a pandemic. Take off those masks, stop giving a side profile, stop posting photos from 50 years ago, because people are going to meet you in real life and they're going to look at you like, you don't look like your photos. For those that have met me in person, do I look like my photos? But you see me on video. I mean, you see this much of me on video. But now I'm doing live shows. Speaking of live shows, Philly. We will be in Philly on March 7th. This is next week, literally next week, less than a week and a half away. So if you haven't gotten your tickets for the Philly show, what are you waiting on? We will be in Philly on March 7th at City Winery for our Kempire After Dark live show, where we're going to talk about things like where is Wendy Williams documentary, hot topics, Love Is Blind, the Traitors, and more. So be sure to get your tickets today. More information is available in the description of this episode. Okay? Thank you so much, Ozflies. You're so handsome. Thank you. Roro says, no, Kemp, you look cuter than your photos. Yes. I mean, you would hope, right? That is the hope. Confession of Aries says, yes, Kemp, you do look exactly what you appear on camera. Why are you laughing? NYCMP, I bet NYCMP in NYC. Even more handsome and real. Thank you, y'all. I appreciate it. You just never know. Everyone's perception is different. Just saying. Anyways. Shay says, Kempire, you are so funny. Sometimes they say don't trust a man who always wear hats in his pictures. Like Gino. Remember Gino last week when he got married? We forgot to mention this on 90 Day Fiancé. Gino, why do you just keep the back of your head not shaven? Is it to pretend like you have hair? So he took off his hat just for a photo. He has no hair. All right. It's so weird though. He just keeps like a patch of hair here. They say, Shay says, sometimes they say, don't trust the man who always wears hats in his pictures. A man who dyes his beard and an older man with braids says they're all demons. Really? I mean, I definitely understand the hat, but the other parts, I'm like, I don't know about that. Exactly. Neo. Oh, but Neo has a funny shaped head. We've seen Neo without his hat. We understand why he wears hats. All right. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and all the places. We already have 600 likes. Let's get to 750 likes. We have almost 1,200 of you watching on multiple platforms. This is our Tuesday Takeover where we cover a variety of pop culture news along with some reality TV news and some reality TV. Since we just mentioned the Traitors, we'll get to it in a second. I want to get to some pop culture news because we talked a lot already. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Let's talk about Diddy. Here's the thing. So, Diddy has been facing a lot of lawsuits. And as you know, he recently settled a lawsuit with his former girlfriend, Cassie, allegedly for a lot of money. Since then, Diddy has been sued by at least 2 other people. Well, now he's being sued yet again, but this time by a man. Here's the thing, though. If you a lot of people just read titles of stories and they don't actually read the lawsuit. If you read the lawsuit, these claims are so outlandish that it's like, I don't know if I believe this at all. But I will just give you an overview. Some of this stuff we can't get into details about, but let me just read to you. Mind you, this person that's suing him is a producer and I think he was trying to raise money on a GoFundMe to get royalties off of Diddy's last album because he's saying that he wasn't credited appropriately or paid appropriately for that album. So TMZ writes this in regards to Diddy in this recent lawsuit. Diddy has just been sued by a man claiming the mogul SA'd him. In legal docs obtained by TMZ, Rodney Jones, a former producer and videographer for the mogul, claims he was repeatedly SA'd by Diddy and subjected to unwanted advances by associates of Diddy at his direction. So there are a few people that are named in this lawsuit, including Diddy's own son, Justin. All right? So Jones claims Diddy, among other things, would grope his personal area, touch his other area behind him. I'm trying to be not so graphic, y'all. Jones goes on to allege that Diddy would parade around him without any clothes on. Jones believes Diddy was trying to groom him. All right. He says that Diddy would downplay the alleged SA situations as horseplay. Jones goes on to allege that Diddy forced him to watch a video involving Stevie J being intimate with another man. However, gay corn star Knockout is coming out and saying, because they provided screenshots in this lawsuit. So this is taking away from Rodney's credibility. He provided screenshots in this lawsuit and alleged that it was Stevie J. However, Knockout, who's an adult film star, says that those shots are of him. He says, this is not him, it's me, y'all. He says, it's me. Y'all really be trying it. I can't show you the screenshots. Go to TMZ if you want to see the screenshots. Okay, I'm going to continue. Because these allegations are so insane. And look, do I believe that Diddy has done some things that he's been accused of in other lawsuits? Yes. However, after I read more of this lawsuit, I was like, this man doesn't have any credibility. Only for other things to come out, taking away from his credibility. Okay? All right. Let me continue. Let me continue with what this lawsuit is saying. All right? So there are more allegations. He says a female cousin of Diddy's girlfriend, Young Miami, also SA'd him, allegedly attempting to have sex with him in front of Diddy and members of his staff. He says that Rodney Jones says that Diddy brought women of the night to his house in Miami. And on one occasion, Jones says that he was present at the house and was, I can't even go into what he was saying in regards to, again, community guidelines. All right. He also alleges that several parties Diddy intentionally served women bottles of his tequila and vodka brands laced with other things in it. He says that more allegations include underage girls brought to Diddy's home. They even mentioned Cuba Gooding Jr. in this lawsuit. He mentions Justin Combs would recruit women of the night as well. All right. Jones claims that Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht, and Cuba allegedly began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's leg, upper thighs, near his groin. Look, Cuba Gooding Jr. has been accused of some other things that he's been sued as well. I just feel like some of what this guy is saying in this lawsuit, he's being disproven, all right, in multiple ways. Okay, so Diddy is speaking out. Diddy is speaking out in regards to this lawsuit, all right? Confessions of an Aries says the block is hot. So yesterday, Diddy, through his attorney, Sean Hawley, tells TMZ Lil Rod is nothing more than a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. This is why I didn't do a separate video, but I said it's in the news. We're going to talk about it. Because after reading more and more of the details, I was like, look, the credibility here is lacking. All right. So his attorney continues saying, we have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempt to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney. Do y'all know who his attorney is? Tyrone Blackburn. You know who that is. He's been tied to a bunch of other celebrity stories. So they're saying that they provided proof to Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored as Mr. Blackburn refuses to return our calls. We will address this outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. All right. A rep for Diddy's son, Diddy's son has a rep? Justin Combs tells TMZ Justin Combs categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. Stevie J is speaking out as well because, as we told you, there were screenshots provided in this lawsuit where he alleges that this is Stevie J having intimate relations with another man. Stevie J tells TMZ these allegations are false and my lawyer will be handling this going forward. We also told you that a corn star by the name of Knockout posted a tweet saying, this is not him, it's me. Y'all really be trying it. I mean, Stevie J and Knockout kind of favor each other. Look, kind of favor each other. Exactly. Big Miss Muffin says, not again. Stop calling Tyrone. Stop calling Tyrone. When I saw who the attorney was too, I was like, oh God. Oh God. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday takeover. We were just talking about the Diddy story. We have a couple more stories that I want to talk about. So buckle up. We've still got maybe like another, God only knows how long. I'm not going to even tell you. All right. So just a brief overview. Porsha Peach Juice Williams. Let me see if I can pull up this story though before I get into the nitty gritty. So Porsha has filed divorce proceedings against Simon Guobadia. I already seen that they've both posted on their Instagram stories things about each other or not about each other. Porsha was thanking people for their prayers and well wishes, and then she put PW. Just the other day, Porsha was saying, call me Porsha Guobadia, mumbling it. Guobadia. That's how she pronounced it. All right. I see that there's an update from our friends over the Neighborhood Talk, so buckle up, okay, in regards to this Porsha situation. Simon says that he will love his wife until the divorce. So a lot of people do not believe that this divorce is real. They believe that Porsha and Simon still love each other. They're just doing this either for a storyline or to protect Porsha. I don't know if I believe that. All right. Only for us to find out that Simon is being sued, apparently. So, we were saying originally in our report that Simon and his scammer behavior was in the past. It might not be maybe not so far in the past. Not to say that he's scamming here, but let me see if I can find this article here. Hold on, y'all. Because I'm trying to get all of what we're trying to cover here. So many stories, my Lord. All right, hold on. Let me pull it up. All right. Where is it? Here it is. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Where did it go? So many stories here, y'all. Hold on. Simon's being sued, and I can't find the story right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Just Googling schmoogle it. I thought I had it here. Hold on, y'all. I just want to make sure I have all the details in front of me. Do 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 do. All right, there we go. Whew. Shout out to our friends over at Reality T. This story was broke by Teesa Tells on YouTube. I want to point that out. She was one of the content creators that were on Simon's neck when it was first revealed. All right, about Porsha and Simon's relationship. So our friends over Reality T write this: the allegations against Simon Guobadia keep on rolling in. All right. They said first, it was the stories about his past life as a fraudster. Then his wife, Porsha Williams, shocked the world by filing for divorce only 15 months into their marriage. Now we learned that his company has been slapped with a major lawsuit over a private plane. So according to Radar Online, Simcoe Petroleum Limited Company, which is owned by Simon, just got sued by a company called NetJet Aviations. They're a company that runs a fractional aircraft program, which allows for multiple owners to contribute towards the ownership and use of a private plane. Because you see, he flies private all the time. Allegedly, Simon's business stopped paying for their plane, so NetJets is demanding a huge chunk of change. The court documents explained how Simon's business entered into a lease agreement in August of 2020 for an aircraft. He had 12.5% interest in the plane, and he agreed to increase it to 15.62% interest in July 3rd of 2021. Unfortunately, the payments from Simon slowly stopped rolling in. Is that why Porsha filed for divorce too? The payments slowly stopped coming in? I don't know. I'm just asking. All right. So the lawsuit explained defendants breached the terms of the program agreement by failing to timely pay to two plaintiffs all amounts due under the program agreement. And plaintiffs terminated the program agreement under its terms on or about February 28th, 2023. So about a year ago. All right. Tomorrow will be a year ago. NetJet claims that Simcoe owed $974,213.11 when the payment stopped. In August of 2023, they entered a payment arrangement where Simcoe was supposed to pay $839,000 in monthly installments, with interest. They made an initial payment of $25,000 towards the agreement, but then failed to make their subsequent payments. That prompted NetJet to take legal action. Per the court documents, NetJet is seeking the remaining balance of $814,000 plus interest. They also want Simon to pay their legal costs. Meanwhile, Simon and his company haven't responded to the lawsuit, which was filed in January of 2024. So a lot of people speculated that the reason why Porsha decided to file for divorce was because of the information that came out, why he was denied legal U.S. citizenship, that he had a credit card fraud past, an identity fraud past. But maybe this was something that she didn't know about. Maybe she found out more. Maybe more will be revealed about Simon Guobadia. All right. So the lawsuit adds just another layer to the confusing timeline of Porsha and Simon's relationship. Yeah. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder what exactly, will the real Simon Guobadia please stand up? Because also what we found out in reporting about the credit card fraud and the identity fraud, that they said in these court documents that a lot of his marriages were shams, allegedly. So it's hard to determine who the real Simon Guobadia is. Is his money real? What is the real relationship between Porsha Williams, Guobadia, and why exactly did she file? Did she really file because she found out something that she didn't know? What was there a big breach of trust? Because just a week ago, less than a week ago, she was posting "Be His Peace," "Ride or Die," all of that. Some people speculate that this is for her season 16 storyline. What do you believe? Well, speaking of season 16, let's talk about the rumored cast. So we initially did a report that Ming Lee, who has like 1.1 million followers on Instagram, has her own like beauty brand and things like that, was being considered. I don't know if I necessarily believe that this is the final cast. I think right now they're in negotiations and people are signing or not signing their contracts. So the Neighborhood Talk reports this, that the official Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 cast will include Porsha Williams, Kenya Moore, Shamia, who's been a friend of the show for many years, but she's also real friends with Porsha. So I wouldn't be surprised that this helped Shamia secure her deal. And I believe originally Shamia's husband did not want to be on the show full time, and that's why she never did it. And Drew Sidora apparently is coming back. I mean, it makes sense. You want a continuation of what happened from last season, figuring out where she's at. Wow, we haven't heard anything new in regards to Drew and her divorce. All right. And more. Angela Reed, who would be a newbie. Akilah Coleman, who we know is friends, real friends with Kenya Moore. And Kenya has been, asking for her to be, to come and be a full-time person on the show. Britt Eadie is also apparently going to be joining the show. And Sheree as a friend of. I mean, that's such a smack in the face. Look, yeah, she's returning, but gosh, she's had this on again, off again relationship with Bravo for so long, and only to come back and be a friend of the show doesn't mean that she's not going to get paid decently, but she's definitely not going to be making a lot. And I think they want to bring her back to kind of keep the audience entertained and connected to the original cast because she is an OG. But damn, Sheree. Speaking of damn, it was the Neighborhood Talk reported that Marlo and Sonia Richards-Ross would not be returning. Sonia has not confirmed this news yet, at least not to my knowledge. But Marlo did confirm to People Magazine that she was going to be focusing on the next chapter of her nephew's life. And she's, her contract ended with season 15. All right. Look, how do you guys feel? Like, I'm okay with Marlo not coming back. I didn't think that she needed a peach. I think she was a great friend of. Did not like her 2 seasons of being a peach. It felt a lot and it felt unnecessary. And her scenes at home alone just were not interesting. So I'm okay with Marlo not coming back. And they gave her an opportunity to keep the door open for her to come back, maybe as a friend of, or maybe as a guest this season. Who knows? We shall see. Are you going to miss Sonia Richards-Ross? Are you going to miss Marlo? What do you think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta's season 16 potential cast? Look. I want to say congratulations to Don Lemon. Congratulations, Don Lemon. Because, yeah, Don Lemon apparently settled his situation with CNN. All right. The Wrap is reporting that Don Lemon, the former primetime host of CNN, has finally agreed to a deal to separate with the network. Sources exclusively tell The Wrap that Don Lemon, who's 57 years old, has agreed a separation deal with CNN for approximately $24.5 million, which would fulfill the complete pay from his final contract, which was extended 3.5 years from his ousting. The Wrap is told. Lemon got in the crosshairs with CNN brass when he moved from his popular primetime show to the mornings alongside hosts Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow. He startled his female colleagues with his implications that Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley at age 51 was past her prime. Things got sour for Lemon when he said Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. Lemon explained why he was uncomfortable with the age discussion when a woman is considered to be in her prime, in her 20s, 30s, and maybe her 40s. The network dismissed Lemon after his show in what he described as a termination. It's clear that there are some larger issues at play, Lemon wrote on social media. He says that he was stunned by the news and was informed by his agent. I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly, he said, while under the tenure of former embattled CNN chief Chris Licht, who was fired months later. All right. Don Lemon later said in a conversation with Kara Swisher, CNN, the strategy and their content and direction they wanted to go in, I was not a part of that. They did not want me to be a part of that, and I think that has, from what has played out publicly as it relates to CNN, as it relates to management and what they're doing now, I think that it's obvious that they didn't want me to be a part of that. Now Lemon is preparing to launch a new show on Elon Musk's X platform. In the next few weeks, the new program, The Don Lemon Show, will allow him to be bigger, bolder, and freer. All right? And I told you, I feel like Don Lemon should get into daytime talk, but maybe this is a way he would prefer to do this type of show. And I'm sure he's going to probably have a lot more power. He's going to check from Elon, and now he's gotten this check from CNN, $24.5 million. Reps for CNN and Don Lemon didn't immediately get back to the rap. His attorney, Brian Friedman, did not comment. All right. Congratulations, Don Lemon. We're happy for you because a lot of you do miss Don Lemon on CNN, but probably will end up watching him on X. All right. Speaking of Don Lemon, a friend of Wendy Williams, as you know, we recap part 1 and part 2 of the Wendy Williams documentary. If you haven't seen it, Where is Wendy Williams? We had a really great conversation and great callers talk about it. So be sure to check that out. You can also listen to it on the Kempire podcast. Well, this morning we dropped another video. So if you missed it, I'm not going to go at length in regards to the details of that video. That's why that video is there. Be sure to check that out. But we did get some news. We did get some news in regards to the Wendy Williams documentary. Specifically, Wendy Williams' best friend was on Chris Cuomo's news station with Chris Cuomo, and said that she thought that this documentary was going to hurt Wendy from ever being able to work again. She said when she did the documentary, she thought it was with the intention of showing her coming out of all of this and starting this podcast. So she didn't like how the documentary was viewed. The other thing is that the Hollywood Reporter did an interview with the producers of this documentary. And I told you, if you watched our recap of the documentary, I said I felt like the producers were very sensitive of what was going on with Wendy. Well, they said if they had known that Wendy was dealing with dementia, that they wouldn't have filmed her. They had no idea. They were allegedly told by people like Will Selby and Sean Zanotti that it's a drinking issue. It's not anything else. All right. We talk more about that in the other video that I did on this story. Okay. The other damning claim that came out this morning is that Wendy Williams' guardian, which we name in that video, we won't name again here, apparently was sued in 2022 for pursuing a baseless guardianship with another man here in New York who had won a $5.5 personal injury lawsuit. And her and a few other attorneys were accused of pursuing this baseless guardianship. So also the judges in this guardianship were also accused of aiding and abetting, allegedly, this whole situation. If we watch the documentary, the Wendy Williams documentary, they talk about how more and more judges across the country are doing this. They are giving guardianships to these people that aren't family members and have no connection to the person. They're leaning more towards that across the country. And that's what we saw with the Wendy situation. Her sister Wanda said, I was more than willing to be the guardian. But all of a sudden, a wall came between us and this guardian was put in place. Well, this other story in which these attorneys, including Wendy's guardian, were sued for $30 million. It was later pulled. It was later dismissed. I can't remember the terms. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't want to say incorrectly. But it was later dismissed in 2023. All right? But some of the details of this $30 million lawsuit from this other person allege that people like Wendy's guardian were using the guardianship to rack up all kinds of charges and attorney's fees for them to dwindle this person's millions of dollars that he had gotten from this personal injury lawsuit. Like millions they had taken from this. Trumping up all these different charges, attorney's fees, guardianship fees. And this man was saying, I'm perfectly fit to manage my life and my money. So this is not great when we are watching this Wendy Williams documentary. Again, another reason why this documentary was necessary, because I don't think we would know half of what was happening with Wendy without this documentary. We've heard rumors, but this confirmed a lot of those rumors. If you missed the full report on this, be sure to check out the video that we posted this morning on Wendy Williams' guardianship and the implications that were happening there, along with some other updates. I didn't want to get too deep into it here because it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. All right. Exactly. Yolissa says, wait, so are we seeing like I Care a Lot happening in real life? I Care a Lot is a movie on Netflix. Netflix, run me a check. Where I've been talking about y'all. Y'all want to get some advertising on here? No, but yeah, so be sure to check that out. I Care a Lot on Netflix. I'm sure it's probably seen a spark in an uptick in views this week after the Wendy Williams documentary, because it talks about guardianship. It's a movie about guardianship. All right. Durant says the documentary was a great idea, just like Britney's. Expose them all. I agree. All right. What else did I want to talk about? Let me open my notes. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday Takeover. Tuesday Takeover is always a full show. We don't take callers because there's just so much to unpack. I'm already tired from talking about all of the things. I did have Jussie in the thumbnail. So let me just briefly talk about Jussie really quickly, okay? For those that, you know who Jussie I'm talking about. Jussie Smollett. You know who I'm talking about. Where's my Jussie photo? I don't have a Jussie's photo. Lord. Just when you feel like you're fully prepared. Do I not? I thought I did have a Jussie photo. I guess not. It's all right. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Jussie Smollett from Empire. All of that, okay? So Jussie Smollett. He still hasn't served his time. He could have served his time and we could have stopped talking about Jussie Smollett in this situation a long time ago. However, Jussie is still here annoying the hell out of us with this situation. All right? At least annoying the hell out of me. I don't know about y'all, but he's annoying the hell out of me with this situation. All right. This is Jussie Smollett, for those that didn't know. Look, for those that didn't know. Jussie Smollett. Back in the news. So TMZ writes this in their exclusive. Jussie doesn't understand the law and he's barking up the wrong tree with the Illinois Supreme Court. At least that's how the special prosecutor views the actor's appeal. Special prosecutor Dan Webb, who convicted Jussie for lying to cops about the hate crime hoax, is responding to Jussie's motion to have the Illinois Supreme Court review his case and overturn the conviction, and says Jussie's claim he had an agreement in place to avoid prosecution simply doesn't hold water. As TMZ reported, Jussie claims he struck a deal with the Cook County State Attorney's Office. He would do volunteer community service and forfeit his bond, and in return, prosecutors would drop the charges. However, Webb says that the, quote, agreement was imaginary. I mean, the fact that he uses the word imaginary, and if you know the full Jussie Smollett story, imaginary would fit Jussie Smollett. All right. So Webb says that the agreement was, quote, imaginary on Smollett's part and did not insulate him from facing charges at a later date. Webb also shoots down Jussie's claims that he's a victim of double jeopardy, pointing out the legal term doesn't apply in this case. In the docs obtained by TMZ, the special prosecutor says that protection from double jeopardy is, quote, triggered only after the accused has been subjected to the hazards of trial and possible conviction. All right. Webb says that the initial charges were dropped a mere 12 days after Jussie was arraigned. So long before there was a jury impaneled, any witnesses sworn in or evidence produced. Special Prosecutor Webb's overall point, Jussie's case isn't worthy of the Illinois Supreme Court review. Webb would like to see the High Court reject his bid for appeal, opening the door for Jussie to complete his 150-day sentence, of which he only served 6 days. At this point, Jussie could have served his time and then he would have been out, and maybe, because, people are forgiving. People like Jussie, I guess. But Jussie has become such a caricature of himself. People are always associating anyone lying to Jussie. You're just keeping this narrative out there, and maybe he wants to keep the narrative out there because it keeps his name out there, but not in a good way. I don't honestly believe that all press is good press. What do you guys think? Oh, damn. Beyonce says, I was pregnant with my daughter when Jussie's incident started. She'll be 4 soon. Wrap this up, Jussie. Thank you, Brianna, for the timeline. That is terrible. Beyonce says, I was pregnant with my daughter when Jussie incident started. She'll be 4 soon. Wrap this up, Jussie. Oh my gosh, Jussie. I think there's also some mental stuff going on with Jussie. There's gotta be. What do y'all think? Look, there's gotta be. Because this just doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense to me. All right. I have a lot more to talk about. Can y'all believe it? I have a lot more to talk about. And I'm going to talk more about this stuff on our March 7th City Winery show in Philadelphia. If you haven't gotten your tickets, more information is available in the description of this live show or episode if you're listening to this. All right? No, I'm going to talk some more. I got a couple more stuff, and then I'm going to get out of here. But I appreciate all of you being here for our live Tuesday takeover. It happens every single week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts. Mama Allie is working on the timestamps, so we will be posting the timestamps. Hopefully, I will remember after the live, when she sends it to me, to post it for you guys. But I think it's a great show to listen to from beginning to end. And like I said, you can take us on the go and listen to us in your car, on your way to work, wherever it may be while you're working, on the Kempire podcast as well. All right. So let's talk about Brandi Glanville. Brandi Glanville. So shout out to TMZ. They're really helping us today with these reports. They are really helping us today with these reports. So Brandi Glanville, as you know, last week through her attorney, she hasn't filed the lawsuit yet. Remember, Brandi's relationship with Bravo has sort of just been blown up, all right? Has been blown up because of the incident that happened in Morocco. If you're thinking that we're going to see the Morocco Ultimate Girls Trip, you're not. I don't think we're going to see it, ever. Because Caroline Manzo is also suing Bravo because of that Morocco trip. Brandi Glanville's relationship with the network is completely done. So I'm not surprised that she might be considering legal action. All right. So she's had her attorneys reaching out to the network accusing Andy Cohen of sexual harassment. All right. Andy posted a tweet saying that it was a joke. However, I apologize. It was wrong. It was inappropriate, and I apologize. Well, that apology, according to Brandi, is not enough. Okay? Is not enough. All right? She says this in a tweet. Hold on. Let me bring this up here, y'all. Let me bring this up here. This is a live show. So Brandi says this in a tweet on social media. I have not received a personal apology from anyone. I saw an apology that Andy posted to his fans for his mistreatment of me and inappropriateness. Here's the thing. I have a couple of feelings on this, and you might say I'm twerking on a fence. Well, I do it religiously, okay? So Brandi has had a history of doing whatever she can do to stay on this platform. I told you when I met her at BravoCon, she was backstage, and she was basically saying that she needs to work. She needs to work, all right? So I wasn't surprised that she's accusing producers in Morocco, encouraging her bad behavior. All right. I'm not surprised by it. Some accountability needs to be taken as well, Brandi. But do I believe that Bravo production did not reward this type of behavior? I do believe that. Do I believe that Andy Cohen has been inappropriate with these housewives? Yes, we've talked about it before. And we have to remember, yes, it's one thing to have a good time with everyone and blah, blah, blah. But you, sir, you're not just the host of Watch What Happens Live. You are their boss. So they feel a need to sort of like to perform for you. So just because it was a joke and jest, and at the moment she was playing along, was she playing along because you're her boss? So look, I have a history of HR. I've watched the sexual harassment video thousands of times. So just because Andy Cohen says, oh, we were having a good time, we were having, it was a joke, she knew it was a joke, doesn't make it okay for someone that's in a position of power to do that. So that's part of the reason why he apologized, admitting guilt in that situation. It's not appropriate. And hopefully in the future, he will understand that you can't be jokey with people that you employ, especially in this inappropriate way. And he's done it with other people over the years. All right? I say all that to say, is Brandi innocent? No. However, Brandi is an employee. She doesn't have a position of power over at Bravo. Andy does. Does she have a lawsuit, a legitimate lawsuit? Well, if she has a good attorney and she's able to really prove it, maybe. I know the Bravo universe will make it seem as if, oh, but Brandi, you've been problematic for a very long time. And she has. Doesn't mean when we talk about employee and employer and the responsibilities that the employer has for an employee and the workplace, that's different. That's a different conversation. We can say in the world of public opinion and within the Bravo universe, Brandi, you've been problematic. You did this to LVP. You did blah, 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 blah. We could say that. But in the court of law, in the court of employer versus employee, when it comes to workplace conditions and policies and procedures, that's a whole other conversation. All right, Brandi. That's the only time I'm going to defend you, Brandi. And I'm not really defending you. I'm defending employees, just saying. What else did I want? Oh, we're going to talk about Traitors. All right, let's talk about Traitors, and then I'm going to get out of here. We never take callers on Tuesday Takeover. We haven't in months. But it gives me an opportunity to talk all of the stories that we're covering today for Tuesday Takeover. You will be able to get the timestamps a little bit shortly after, hopefully, for myself to remember, after the live. So there will be timestamps. But you can also take us on the go by downloading the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. All right, shout out to everyone watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Facebook, and of course, those of you watching on YouTube. Replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts on any of the topics that we covered. We've covered a lot today. We definitely covered a lot. And I think I covered everything so far besides Traitors. Let's talk about Traitors because I need to do a separate live show just for Traitors. Maybe once the season's over because it's been such a spectacular season. So what has happened since the last time we spoke about Traitors? Phaedra enlisted Kate Chastain as a fellow traitor because Poverty was found out and eliminated from the show. And now the heat is on Phaedra. But I have to say, the way that Phaedra was able to gather Trishelle, Peter, was chef's kiss. It was one of the rare times that we can root for Phaedra. I wasn't sure because Phaedra went into this roundtable thinking that she was safe, that she was good, only to be blindsided that Trishelle's been keeping notes and she's ready to eliminate Phaedra. But Phaedra's just like, you know what, Peter? You want to act as if you're the king of, the faithfuls. However, you're suspicious. You are ready to get rid of me, and you were, colluding, not colluding. You were colluding with Poverty. When all of a sudden last week you were saying poverty, 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 only for it to change this week. Sidebar, when Phaedra selects, Phaedra, do you really believe that you're killing people in this game? She really leans into the character of being a traitor. She's almost like Alan Cummings, the host. You know what I mean? Anyways, so she chooses Kate. They go up to decide who they're going to get rid of. They decide to get rid of Kevin. By Kevin. Kevin is so strange. Was he this strange on Bling Empire? Like really dumb? Sorry. I mean, he was comical though. He was comical to watch. So they decide to get rid of him. But as soon as they get up to the Traitors headquarters, Phaedra says to Kate, so what are you thinking should be our game plan? Kate's like, I just became a traitor. Like, how am I supposed to come up with a game plan? That's the thing about Phaedra. I don't think Phaedra is playing the best game as a traitor, but when it comes to reacting and being on the defensive, she's good. When it comes to her social skills, she's good. But when it comes to actually navigating these types of moments in Traitors, she's not able to do it. Kate, though, the next day, MJ called her out. She's like, you're acting strange. I was like, uh-oh. Not MJ noticing that Kate is acting strange. And Kate's like, don't look at me. Stop calling me out. Stop calling me out. I thought that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Anyways, so MJ noticed that Kate was acting strange. All right. But everyone's focus is not on Kate. Everyone's focus is now on Phaedra. Trishelle swears that Phaedra is a traitor. She is. But we don't want Trishelle to figure it out. But they can't get rid of Trishelle. Even though when they play this game, it seems as if Phaedra is trying to make sure that Trishelle is not protected and can't get a shield. All right? And even CT is like, that is traitor behavior. So even CT is leaning towards the whole situation with believing that Phaedra might be a traitor. And mind you, they've had this little love affair, CT and Phaedra, during the season. I know he doesn't want to believe it, but it feels as if her making that move during that competition felt like she was coming for Trishelle and trying to vote Trishelle out. But when they try to take Phaedra down at this round table, Phaedra, I'm just like, the first time, because I watched it twice. The first time, I was just sort of like in the studio working, and I heard it playing. And I'm listening to this. I was just like, Phaedra is just coming and responding, because they keep saying that the way she moves her eyes, and the next day she doesn't seem like bothered. She doesn't seem nervous, and she's like, I don't know. Honestly, I kind of wish that Phaedra had said, she'd be like, I'm a black woman in America. I'm not going to wake up every day feeling bothered. I already been through a lot. I just kind of wish she would have said something like that, because I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? But I don't know, Trishelle, if she's really noticing anything. But damn you, Dan. Dan is the reason why the Traitors will lose the season. If a traitor doesn't make it to the end, it's Dan's fault, because he painted this whole idea of poverty and Phaedra before he was voted out. So he ruined the game for everyone, not just the Traitors. He made it too easy. If you're a traitor, be a traitor. You know what I mean? Well, I guess he was being a traitor. Traitor. Damn. Look, damn. Damn you, Dan. But you ruined the game for us, the audience. We want the Traitors to win. Janelle says, MJ said on Sheena's podcast that Phaedra should have chosen Peter instead of Kate and forced him to choose between being a traitor or being murdered. Yeah, that was the other thing that I said the other day, because I do a separate recap on TikTok, like a quick one. And then I was live on IG talking about this. And I was like, I'm not sure if choosing Kate was the right decision. You already sort of had Kate on your side. I don't think you needed to make her a traitor. You needed to make someone that was good, like strategically good. Peter would have been great. But Peter's not going to want to leave. You know what I mean? So Peter would have been a good decision. Who else do you guys think would have been a better decision than Kate? Like, I always wanted Kate to be a traitor, but at this point in the game, we don't need her to be a traitor. We don't need to betray. But who knows? She might surprise us. She might surprise us. But I have to say, Phaedra really surprised me on how well she handled herself in that round table coming up against them. We don't know who was voted out. They ended this week's episode. CT. A lot of people on my TikTok are saying CT would have been good for her to pick. I don't know. Damn. Look. But we don't know who's voted out because it's between Peter and Phaedra at the round table. We will know this Thursday on the next episode of Traitors. All right. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you to everyone that sends in super chats, cash apps, Venmos. Those of you that send super chats after the live, I appreciate those as well. Those help support content creators like myself. But you can also support just by liking the video. Guys, we have almost 900 likes with over 1,200 people watching. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to 1,000 likes if you can. It's easy. It's free. Julie, thank you for the super chat. Julie says MJ was on Sheena's. Oh, you said it too. Thank you. On Sheena's podcast. And I think I heard her drop the spoiler that Phaedra was voted out by Sheree, but haven't heard anyone else saying it. I don't know. Because, yeah, it ends up being Sheree having that very important vote. But do you think that Sheree, if Sheree voted her out, I might look at Sheree a little bit differently. But who knows? Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see this week on the latest episode of Traitors. Traitors is having an amazing second season. Who do you guys want to see win the Traitors, the game? Who do you want to see win? Honestly, I would love to see Phaedra win for her to come this far. All right. Girl, what's that? Says, Kempire, Peter was given the chance to become a traitor and he turned it down. Yes, I remember. But now this is different. He could either become a traitor or he would be eliminated. So that's the difference now. So maybe he would want to stay on. The other choice was he could just stay. But now he would actually be voted out. All right. Samara says that MJ is the best Bravo person on Traitors. She's intuitive. She's definitely intuitive. Bria says, I want Sandra to win. Sandra's from Survivor. She won Survivor twice. I'm okay if Sandra doesn't win because she's won Survivor twice. Last season, when Surrey won, I was happy for her because everyone said that she should have won Survivor and she never did. So I was happy for her. All right. Some of you are saying CT. Some of you are saying, and Peter had the shield last time too. Queen Nia says that I felt Phaedra should have picked John. John is good too. He's good strategically. And now people really believe that John, the politician, they believe that John is the faithful of all faithfuls. So that actually would have been a great one. Yep, Tess says John would have been great. They all trust him. So I wonder if John would have chosen to be a traitor or if he would have chosen to leave and be murdered. Damn, y'all really, I do believe that this is where I say Phaedra is not necessarily good at the game. She's good socially. She's good at arguing her case. She is an attorney. However, I don't think she's good at the game of Traitors. You know what I mean? Even though those elements are important. But John would have been a good one. Peter would have been a good one, but John, especially this far into the game, everyone says that he is the faithful of all faithfuls. All right. That's it for Tuesday Takeover. Thank you for all of you for being here. We appreciate all of the super chats, all of the likes, all of your comments. We appreciate you being a part of our Tuesday Takeover. I will see you guys next week for our Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget this week, though, tomorrow we have Zach Peter coming on to talk about Vanderpump Rules and some more hot topics, so be here for that. That will be a live show as well. We still have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We have Real Housewives of Miami. And, of course, we know that we don't just talk about housewives or reality TV here. We talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to share and check out some of the things that you missed this past week, including our Where is Wendy Williams documentary recaps. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, at The Kempire on both platforms, and follow us on Instagram. And on Instagram, that's where you can find more information on the Kempire After Dark show. Philly, I'm coming to you next week. If you haven't gotten your tickets, if you haven't told some of your friends, if you live in South Jersey, this is your opportunity to be part of our show at City Winery in Philadelphia on March 7th. Tickets are available in the description of this live show. And if you're listening to this, in the description notes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our King's Guards. Thank you to our subscribers. And thank you to all of you watching in the bushes. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all. Let's get out of here.